What does it say about a candidate, though, who wrote an op-ed in 2009 saying that please apply what we did in Massachusetts nationally to an individual mandate, and then goes on the campaign trail yesterday and just lies? I hate to be that blunt. I hate to use that word. Does anybody disagree with my characterization of what he said yesterday when he had been saying all along that he'd just been talking about an individual mandate for Massachusetts? He lied yesterday. It's on videotape. What are conservatives to think about that?
Well, Mitt Romney has run a political career that has been entirely tactically situational, right? So he runs in 1994 against Ted Kennedy. He's one thing. He's a different thing when he runs in 2002. And the problem is, once he got elected in 2002, he built a record that in some circumstances he could be proud of. He can't be in this Republican Party. And so he's been, from the very beginning of this, of the first campaign, really, trying to step away from what he accomplished in Massachusetts, and it's difficult to do. And you find yourself, you end up with people like Newt Gingrich saying the other day, campaign of monumental dishonesty, and he's pretending to be something that he isn't. And that's a problem for Romney. He's got to figure out a way between now and November to get in a zone where he's more comfortable, authentic, honest about who he is and what he wants.
You know, Mika, you flinched when I used the word lie.
It's really...
Is that what he did yesterday?
It appears.
And you know, the thing is, he didn't have to do that. Not to go too far off the subject, but I had called somebody in business. I asked for this person, and the assistant said he's not here. And the next time I saw her, I said, just a friendly tip, never lie. You could have told me 1,000 different things. You did not have to lie. I knew he was in the office. Now I'll never trust you again. There were 1,000 different ways Mitt Romney could have handled that yesterday. Why tell people something that they know is untrue?
He has a piece in the Washington Post today about Iran, and we have Dan Senor coming up, so we'll try and bring that into the conversation.
Can we continue on this, though, a little bit? Are you uncomfortable? I think this is important.
Well, it is incredibly important.
What does it say about a candidate that has, faced with an op-ed that he wrote a few years ago, goes in front of people and tells them something that he knows is not true, that the press knows is not true, and that the people in the audience knows is not true?
I think it's the case that one of the things we've seen over the course of the Republican nomination fight is that Mitt Romney is not a A-plus political performer, and he seems to operate, and this actually goes to one of the broader questions from this op-ed. One of the things that's true back in Reagan's day was that, you know, he could make a dumb joke, a dumb ethnic joke, and it was not immediately known by everyone in the country. The media environment was so different. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have everything archived, everything on video, camera phones. Everything is immediately there, and it's pervasive and cataloged, right? You could make little mistakes. Has made a lot of mistakes that are now part of the record, and it's burned into a lot of people's perceptions. And I think that this kind of mistake is the kind of mistake that you're not as aware.
This was a calculated mistake, though, John. It wasn't like somebody asked him that while he was running to the plane. He got the mic in his hand. He knew he was going to give a speech. He certainly saw the 2009 op-ed in the USA Today, and he went out there and deliberately said something that he knew was not true.
You want to hammer this home? That's not only did he lie. I'll take it further. Not only did he lie, his people, who we've questioned on this set, not this set, before, in terms of how they helped prop him up and the situations they put him in, that just seem to be constantly letting him down. They shouldn't have let him do it.
No.
And then take it to the next level. Does he think people are stupid? Because that's insulting.
Willie, why couldn't he have said, listen, the Heritage Foundation, Newt Gingrich, a series of self-described people supported a national individual mandate. Mine was a little different than this way, than that. Just, he could have done something, but he went out there and mainly insulted the conservatives that he's trying to win over.
The question was, will you, on your first day in office, work to repeal Obamacare? We should listen to the clip so people know what we're talking about. Let's listen to it.
I need an emphatic yes from you that you will repeal Obamacare.
Why would I not?
I need
There's no early on we were asked, is what you've done in Massachusetts something you'd have the entire government do, the federal government do? I said no. From the very beginning. No. This is designed for our state and our circumstance.
What?
Not from the very beginning. Perhaps John Harwood from the beginning of this campaign, but not from the beginning of his career in politics, as he said that.
Absolutely. Look, the guy at earlier points in his career had an entirely different political persona than now, but he's trapped in the intersection of his ambition with the way the Republican Party has changed, and how do you make that work? I was talking to your old colleague Ben Weber the other day, who's with Romney, and he said, unfortunately, this process is now dominated by two beliefs. One is that in the conservative movement, the philosophic purity is the key to beating Obama. And secondly is that the party needs to provide an ever more clear contrast, and Mitt Romney is having to pay fealty to that belief.
But John, this isn't about ideology, what we've seen here. This is about judgment. This is about character. This is about telling people something that is not true, and that everybody in the audience most likely read the day before. That's, I guess, what's so confounding to me.
Well, there have been a lot of things that have been confounding in the campaign, and I think Romney has, look, every speech he says Obama goes around apologizing for America. That's not true. But